On the banks of the mighty Mississippi in Memphis, Tennessee, you can't mention Memphis without the mighty Mississippi as Memphis 901 FC faces El Paso. Memphis debuting new River kits tonight, but they're focused on getting a win and moving up in the standings. We'll tell you about it next. Everyone, and welcome to a hot evening in August here in Memphis, Tennessee at AutoZone Park for USL Championship Soccer. Tonight, El Paso Locomotive visits Memphis 901 FC. Again, a very good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jeff Rival alongside Tim Van Horn, and matches are starting to run out. Just 12 left in the season for Memphis. They're trying to get up, maybe potentially do a top two. Meanwhile, El Paso desperate for results.
They just want to get some wins this year. El Paso is struggling. This is a little bit of a David and Goliath match tonight, but as you said, Memphis, a lot of pressure on them to continue to win, to build that resume for a home playoff advantage. But they got to go through El Paso tonight, and it all starts with Armando Marino. Let's take a look at Mr. Marino. And of course, this year, their goal scoring leader with 5 goals right now. He's got an assist to boot. Very accurate, too. This is a guy that shoots 70% of his shots are actually on target, so he will work the goalkeeper. So keep an eye out for him. They need to score early because when they do not score first, the El Paso Locomotive are 0-11, Jeff. So Memphis 901 FC, they got a challenge in front of them. And the new guy, I think he might be up for it.
John Vaccaro, he was one of the best in the ACC in college, now getting a second start here.
Yeah, absolutely. He got 89 minutes last week in Memphis's win, and he'll get another start tonight. And for Memphis, this is part of their whole transfer philosophy with head coach Stephen Glass. He's brought in 3 players in the last couple of weeks, and that's just filling in puzzle pieces for them because it's important to continue to win because they've got people chasing them for those home playoff spots.
Well, again, matches are starting to run out. Time to make a move. It's Memphis and El Paso from AutoZone Park. USL Championship Soccer coming your way next. Going to be a warm one tonight here in Memphis, Tennessee. That's what you expect when you're in August, as you'll see some new kits tonight from Memphis 901 FC as they face them off against El Paso Locomotive. Speaking of El Paso, taking a look at the starting lineups here tonight, they'll go with a 4-4-2. And really, Tim, I think Where they'll have to kind of make their hay is can Marino, Coronado, Acuñote, and Rivas slow things down in midfield.
Yeah, because Memphis loves to score. They love to score early. They have to get out on the front foot tonight, no doubt about that. And then here's a look, Jeff, at 901 FC. You were talking about the kits. That's a familiar shape on the front.
Yeah, it's the new River kits here for Memphis 901 FC. 4-2-3-1. It's not Marlon up front, but Caro, the newcomer, he was great last week. A lot of creativity. See if he can create something tonight.
And he's got a lot of help around him. That looks good. And, of course, the mighty Mississippi River there on the front of the kits. Let's see if Memphis or El Paso has the better flow tonight, Jeff.
Here we go from AutoZone Park in downtown Memphis. Also, it will be the second straight match. You'll see Tristan Henry. He was on the team of the week. Outstanding clean sheet. And look, the defense in front of Henry a week ago was outstanding. But late in the match, we saw him have to make some highlight saves.
Some terrific saves. He really introduced himself to the Bluff City Mafia and the Memphis 901 faithful last week. They'll need another performance like that tonight because I do believe that El Paso comes in very hungry tonight.
And we are underway from downtown Memphis, Tennessee. So quickly here in midfield, we'll see what El Paso wants to do. And they want to try to go over the top. They'll stretch it out along the right side and nothing doing. Again, they'll be looking for Armando Marino early. They've only scored 16 goals. He has 5. In fact, between Dylan and Marino, they've got half of their 16 goals.
Yeah, they're not really spreading the wealth around, but then again, there's not a lot of spoils or riches for El Paso this year. They would love to get on some kind of run and make it interesting at the bottom of the playoff table.
Calvillo sent it in, a little turn and a quick block that time from 901 FC, and that'll set up our first corner kick just 43 seconds into this match. Here's our injury report presented by Campbell Clinic. Of course, Nico Brett out for El Paso. They've got it stacking up. Alfaro, Borelli, Malua, Navarez all out. Navarez out for a suspension right now, so they're a little bit shorthanded as well.
Yeah, they are. But tonight, Memphis almost at full strength, and I think they have even a strong bench and a few to boot that couldn't dress tonight.
Little give and go on that one. They send it over to Rivas, and here's the first shot. It'll be a little roller right into the hands of Tristan Henry.
It's always nice to get that first touch when you're a keeper on just a simple save like that. Collapses down. Good job by the new goalkeeper from Memphis.
A week ago, he faced 6 shots, got all 6 saves, first clean sheet in his debut. Not the easiest thing to do, unfamiliar turf, unfamiliar defenders in front, a handful of practices. You never know how people move around unless you're with them a lot.
Absolutely. The more time you spend with your teammates, the more comfortable you get. He was called in, get a couple of training sessions in, and then go get them, and that's exactly what he did.
Sissoko worked it all the way around to the far wing. Now we'll see 901 FC, what they're going to do offensively here. Their first opportunity as they move it up to the right side. They'll let Quezada. Quezada sends it to the top of the 18. Memphis will lose it momentarily. Carriaga, the goal scorer a week ago in the 901 FC win. Now to Duncan. Duncan swings it back over right side. Quezada, who's got a couple of assists on the year, and Memphis just lost possession that time. Nothing really necessarily forced that time from El Paso.
First little decent spell of possession for Memphis, and look for them to continue to attack and working those small triangles as they work their way up the pitch later tonight.
Off the chest of Ruiz, he looked downfield to Marino. That's going to make its way out of bounds. That'll turn it back over. That's the man, hometown right now, Perth Amboy, New Jersey, but he's originally out of El Salvador, where he got 13 appearances with the national team. Riago now works it to the wing. 50-50 ball, and that duel will be lost. El Paso moved up quickly. Dangerous ball here. El Paso doesn't necessarily have possession, but it's creeping the wrong way. Meanwhile, 901 FC trying to turn and get a bit of a counter. Memphis has Fernando breaking down the middle. They'll also have Vaquero there in the middle. They're able to find, but El Paso again comes away with the ball.
Quick moment of a push down the field. Emerson Hyman gave a good release point there. As you said, that was a dangerous ball right at the edge of the box. They were able almost to go box to box there, but Memphis will try to stretch you out too. They won't just work the short game.
You know, Memphis in the mid-third here, late in the 4th minute of the match. El Paso's got to be, I think, pleased with the first 4 minutes of this match. Have a little possession, clog it up in the middle.
They got to get settled in. Memphis very strong in the first 15 minutes of many matches. Referee says play on there.
A lot of contact, no whistle. Run of play will continue. As they'll work it back to Jamali Waite. So they're under 25 goals this year, 76 shots faced, 51 saves. Maybe the 25 goals do not speak of the quality of keeper he is, facing 76 shots so far this year. Now that'll be Duncan trying to weave his way inside the 18. Take it off of his feet. Meanwhile, El Paso, they don't have the numbers. See if they can create something here. But Memphis defense a little too strong as Alvarado Quezada takes a big push in the back.
Yeah, and that's an obvious foul there. Thomas Snyder on the whistle tonight in the center. He had that. Memphis getting possession again. To your point about Jamali Waite and the number of shots, when you're peppered as a goalkeeper, that's not necessarily a reflection of your personal performance. There are matches where that game could have, a particular game could have gotten further out of hand that he kept at bay. A lot of times when you're in that stop the bleeding mode, it's different than if you're in a 0-0 match.
Now Memphis trying to go over the top that time, looking for Luis Fernando. Got knocked away, though, at the last moment. Early in the 6th minute, and El Paso trying to make a run. They'll go 4 across from about 30 away. The little chip shot they were just trying to put in the 18 turned away. Meanwhile, 901 FC. And what El Paso is doing early, with their forwards pressing on the Memphis defense, not letting them get comfortable trying to build from the back.
Yeah, sure not. And that was a good first and second touch by Emerson Hindman to get out of traffic to release all that pressure off of Memphis 901 FC, and now they'll walk it up.
Sissoko Turchi, he'll swing it along the left side. They'll bring it back now here late in the 6th minute. Neither team any big threats. There was a slow roller into the waiting hands of Tristan Henry, but no major threat on that early shot. Meanwhile, Memphis finds a break. They look long to Quezada along the right side. We've seen Alvarado coming as a sub a lot this year, getting a start tonight. It's obviously that Memphis is looking for. Meanwhile, Wilmer Cabrera, the head coach, and he was formerly the Colombian at Rio Grande Valley with the Toros for a couple of years, has had success in Montreal in the Canadian Championship, U.S. Open Cup when he coached the Dynamo.
I tell you, he does have a good resume, and that's the thing. If you can coach and you can motivate players, you'll always have a good job somewhere, whether it be in the MLS or USL Championship for sure.
Also spent time in the youth camp for the U.S. national team of the under-18 and under-17 clubs. 470 professional appearances from 1985 to 2005. 92 goals in his 2 decades as a pro player. Meanwhile, here comes Fernando. Runs into a little bit of traffic and his crossing pass deflected. Hyman settles it momentarily. Too many numbers on the near side here for 901 FC. Meanwhile, Duncan feeds ahead, and it's Beccaro. Excellent patience by Memphis, but the pass too much elevation into the corner.
Yeah, a little overcooked. Beccaro there as a linchpin in the middle of the attacking from Memphis 901 FC. And there's a look at head coach Stephen Glass here in his 2nd season with the club, and the team continuing to look like a perennial playoff contender, and he's putting his own signature on it.
All right, now he's trying to climb the standings. Right now, Memphis a few points shy of 2nd. That's reachable, as Memphis 901 FC is a result away from 2nd. Now, the numbers as Memphis 901 FC goes into the 18 with the left foot that time. Hyman turned away. Into midfield. Memphis only 6 points out of 1st. The issue is New Mexico's got 3 matches in hand. They've got 9 potential points to pull away, not just from Memphis, but Sacramento and Oakland as well.
Yeah, and they've been playing terrific ball. New Mexico have. New Mexico United.
Early in the 9th minute. And Memphis, one of their better runs, even though it resulted in no shots. Here's a nice pass into the 18. Little overshot, and they'll pick up the loose ball. That'll be Ruiz. He'll back it out. Nice one-on-one matchup here with Sissoko. Sissoko forces him to feed it back outside. Dollenmeyer retreated now, send it to Stauffer along the right side.
Bit of an anxious moment for Memphis 901 FC. Good defending, though, forcing the attack back out and around to reset.
Dollenmeyer might be an issue for Memphis with this size on defense if Memphis is able to push into the 18 a lot tonight. Dollenmeyer, big guy here on this near side in the back.
Yeah, he is a big drink of water, no doubt about that. He's got a great left foot, too.
Long diagonal, and that'll be headed out of bounds by Memphis.
All right, I got to ask you. The River kits or the creamsicle by El Paso? I think both teams coming out. I don't know how well each team will play tonight, but they both look great.
They look sharp.
And that's what I love about the USL Championship. I mean, you're not going to find monochromatic jerseys. I mean, there's a lot of creativity and expression, much like the gameplay.
Well, we still have 80-plus minutes in this match, but if the USL Championship had a match with the uniforms of the week, I think this one's already a winner between these two clubs.
It'd be a tough bracket to pick, yeah, for sure. There was an offside, so Memphis will get the restart. But yeah, just the nod to the Mississippi River there. Was that a canoe or a kayak in the pregame? I get them mixed up.
A kayak.
Okay, thank you.
See there on the sleeves, and that's supposed to emulate the ripples in the river, the current, and also the cobblestone riverbanks of Memphis, Tennessee. Early 11th minute, no score. El Paso Locomotive and Memphis 901 FC at AutoZone Park. Downtown Memphis, we're at the corner of Union and 3rd. Down the right side, nice little heel touch that time by Quezada. He kept it into Baquero. Baquero trying to make a few moves. It'll get sent back out into the corner. Arriaga, the goal scorer again a week ago. From distance, sent away. Duncan, or Churchy rather, with a big windup on that one.
I tell you, Tristan Henry, he's about 25 yards off of his line. He's getting involved straight away and seems to be very comfortable outside the 18.
A little more aggressive than he was a week ago in his debut, and that's understandable. He's a lot in the box a week ago between the pipes, not venturing out much. But as you mentioned, a lot more aggressive second time around. Hyndman circles around. Oh, he's looking for Quezada toward the corner. Just a pitch too heavy on the pass. Quezada would have been able to make a quick left-hand turn, have a clear run to the net.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got 2 assists on the season. He's a guy that can feed the ball in out there on the wing, and that was part of our keys of the game is exploiting the wings.
There's Jamali Wade again, 25 goals against, 76 shots faced, 51 saves this year at a 67.1% clip. But again, as you mentioned, he's been peppered this year, facing 76 shots.
Yeah, he's definitely gotten his reps in, and that's not in a good way. I'm sure he'd love to have a very quiet night if at all possible.
Ball on the near side, Dollenmeyer again. Works it to Ruiz, and Ruiz was looking for maybe Moreno up top. That pass too short, an easy interception that time for 901 FC.
To your point about the goalkeeping for Jamali Wade, Memphis is second in the league this year with 17 first-half goals, and when they do lead at halftime, they're 7-1-1. All again, the numbers bear out. If Memphis gets out on the front foot, it could be a long night for El Paso. But so far, it's been tit for tat.
Chance for a run down into the corner. Moreno. He'll stop. Sissoko's trying to pin him against the sideline. He does a really nice job along the goal line. Well, Sissoko's going to contend that did not go off him.
If he's trying to appeal, he's going straight to the judge that made the call. So I don't think that's going to get switched over.
I mean, with the naked eye, it looked as if it would have been off of El Paso. Obviously, officials have a much closer look at it.
And then you have the assistant referee that's on the far side of the pitch, so I don't think he would have been in position to necessarily overturn that.
Now, they'll still plead their case. It's not going to get overturned. Tristan Henry, meanwhile, trying to get his defense set up. So they got Moreno right to the back of Henry, and they're going to stack him out. Well, at least they're going to get at the very least, get a meeting up there to see Javillo come to the top. Hasn't been an overly physical match as of yet.
I'm not sure if that conversation was necessarily about that call or maybe some bumping and some pushing elsewhere, because it seemed usually you don't have to have 4 or 5 guys circle the official over a corner kick. But what it does is allows Memphis to set its defense up.
The last time they had the corner, they did not go directly on net. As you remember, they flicked the ball off to the right and made the play as you see them setting up here. This time they will go on net. Nice header out of the box. Possession kept by El Paso. Stauffer with the ball. He's running out of room quickly, and ball nearly taken away that time on a spin move. We'll get a quick whistle.
Looks like we're going to have our first yellow card of the night too, Jeff, as Knight Pickering was trying to spin away and start what might have been a promising attack, or at least bought some space.
And it'll be Stauffer. Stauffer's the one that called the ball off the initial header. Stauffer trying to retreat, create a little space, but Pickering just didn't give him any room. Yeah,
and it was a good spin move in tight quarters for Pickering, and he not only was trying to buy some space, but he also got the call.
Memphis toward the corner. They've got a couple, including Fernando in the middle and Pickering, but that ball's going to make it out. So Vaquero had the ball knocked away, and they'll go into the corner. So Vaquero is going to take the corner. Wade will camp up right in the middle. 9-1 FC will put 4 about 15 yards out.
Oh, goodness.
Straight away.
Tristan Henry's inside the center circle, Memphis' goalkeeper.
Here it comes, a little elevation that way, and a lot of contact made. And that is Sissoko, who is down there, and they are calling for the trainer.
And then we have an El Paso Locomotive player down on the goal line as well.
Well, they charged right on the corner. So Sissoko down for Memphis. And that's Dollenmeyer, who was down for El Paso. He is up. Sissoko still down, obviously.
There's a lot to unpack on a corner kick that never happened.
Right. There's a ton of elevation on the kick, but a lot of that contact, almost all of it, happened before the kick contact was even made by Vaquero.
Haven't seen any cards or any foul call. It looks like it may simply be a do-over on the corner kick.
Here we go. I don't know if it was contact, but yeah, he kind of got cut, but he was trying to make a little drop step to his left. Looked like he got an elbow in that too. At first I thought because of the drop step he may have turned his knee, but it looked like on the drop step, and you can see there they're tinting that nose, got an elbow maybe before that drop step.
So now he's getting tended to. Dollenmeyer is now up. What happened to him is he was contacted in the back because Fernando got pushed in the back into Dollenmeyer, but he's up. He looks like he's okay. Now the question is, is this simply just a bloody nose for Sissoko, and can he continue for Memphis 901 FC?
Odd thing is, 2 of the bigger guys, Sissoko and Dollenmeyer, were the 2 guys down on the pitch there. So they'll talk to Stephen Glasswell, to Quezada, who's been very active in his start tonight.
I don't see anybody warming up over on either side, particularly Memphis 901 FC. They do have some defense that they can turn to. I think Sissoko is going to try to do everything he can to continue on if it's just some blood that can get cleaned up. Meanwhile, you've got the referee in the middle of all this, and he's being politicked right now for a card or something to try to get the next call. And thankfully now Sissoko looks like he's easing back up.
Yeah, he'll have to come off for a second. They'll reinsert him due to the fact they had to stop the match. But good to see him walk off, because when he went down initially, did not look good just from the body language.
No, he went down and it looked like he was in a whole heap of pain, but looks like he's cognizant of what's going on. I believe the referee asked if concussion protocol is going to be necessary. Let's see if they do that on the bench.
Well, meanwhile, here we go for the corner. It'll be Vaquero. A little more direct that time. Swinging in, punched away by Wade. Kept by Carriaga. One to the corner. Didn't have the angle and lost it. Meanwhile, El Paso trying to move it up. Nice job by Akeem Ward to break up any potential counterattack.
Yeah, slowing that down. Good sliding challenge. Get the ball out. Give Memphis a chance to reset. And now Sissoko is back on for Memphis 901 FC. So back to 11 men.
Into the 20th minute, and we'll have several minutes due to that stoppage added to the end of the opening half. And that's really been the only stoppage of play, was the contact between Sissoko high in the 18 and then Dollenmeyer going down along the goal line. Good spacing as this thing is starting to build for Memphis. They've got Quezada to the right side. They find him. A nice feed by Duncan. Just couldn't connect at the last moment. Good job to thread the initial needle.
Good spinning one-timer, freeing up the wing, and fortunately for El Paso, Locomotive, a clearance here, but another, it looks like another, will this be a throw-in or a corner kick? It'll be a throw-in for Memphis.
Well, they got Beccaro sitting there in the goal box low. They can turn and at least get the ball in there, maybe looking for something. Quezada back up to Sissoko. He's back in. Turchi. Now Memphis at midfield. Good organization, pacing here by Memphis. A lot of space, a lot of room to maneuver. Little one-on-one, little shove right in front of Stephen Glass, but Fernando will get it back.
And good on him for getting right back up. Didn't sell a foul, anything, just got up, played on, and he was rewarded. He got the ball back.
Turchi headed away off the foot of Hindman. Beccaro calling in the middle with Fernando. Well, one of the keys you had, Tim, and they're doing a nice job of it, is working the wings for Memphis, not letting Pickering and Quezada make a turn or even get a crossing pass. They're making Memphis earn it, and they're not allowing it to get to Beccaro or Fernando yet in the middle.
Yeah, El Paso's doing a good job here out of the gate, just clogging things up in the middle for Memphis, making it difficult, and to boot down the wings, they've been very aware of what Memphis can do, and they've been able to have an answer for every question.
No, Memphis says to be pleased. Stephen Glass that does 59% possession in this match, 2-1 shot advantage for 901 FC early. But again, if you're El Paso, you've made it through the first 15 minutes. So Memphis is very good in the first 15, very good in the last 15 in scoring. So if you're Wilmer Cabrera, I think your first goal of the night's been accomplished. You made it through that first 15, that initial push.
Yeah, El Paso certainly has not made this, or allowed this, maybe a better term, to be a free-flowing game, because that would work to Memphis's advantage. But Memphis also, to be fair, they've adapted and have been pretty patient so far.
Too strong, well out of bounds that time. Then again, with the newcomers for Memphis, seeing a few new faces out there, with, again, Marlon not getting the start tonight, but boy, Stephen Glass all of a sudden with the new signees, you've moved the lineup around a little bit. They get to know each other, but what a luxury tonight. You've got Santos, Vomsteeg, you had some frontline guys waiting probably late in the second half.
Be good on a hot, muggy Memphis night to be able to have some fresh legs that have had that starting experience for sure. And also bringing in new transfers also makes training a lot more competitive too. You're going to get the best out of everybody every day, which hopefully it becomes a headache for Stephen Glass to make those decisions of who's going to be the starting 11.
Probably the most thankful, Tyler Derrick, who, well, what a yeoman's job, had played every minute in net for Memphis until Henry was signed. Here comes Carriaga. Little bit of room, and had a shot blocked about 13 yards high. They had the wind up, but they closed the gap quickly.
Sprung free there for a moment. A dummy on the pass up the pitch, got it to Carriaga, and then maybe one touch too many, but good job closing down for El Paso Locomotive, shutting that down before he could get a really good crack at the net.
Over the top again. That time Quezada got into his bag. Let's take another look at this. Nice feed from Sissoko to start.
Yeah, in fact, the dummy by Fernando lets Carriaga run onto it and just It may have just gotten under his feet, but again, it was just a good run by Memphis, a signal of intent here in the 24th minute of action.
Of course, before the night is over, may see Panos Armanakis, the Australian, the newest member of 901 FC before the end of the night. We'll see if that plays out.
He got in, I believe, midweek for Memphis 901 FC, so had just a little bit of training with the team. And when I talked to Stephen Glass, I got a chance to chat with him earlier today, and the strategy for the new guy is to let him see how Memphis operates. He's seen him with Phoenix Rising, obviously, but to give him a chance to get acclimated and not just throw him into the starting lineup.
Duncan will draw 2 defenders. He'll try to screen, and a little push to the back. Let's see what the ruling is. It'll be Memphis ball. Well, wasn't able to hedge all the way down to the line for a corner. He'll take the throw in here about 5 feet, 6 feet high. Well, actually, he'll get the foul on the free kick, so it's by de facto a corner here.
Yeah, in fact, it's even better because if he wanted to curl one back post, he's got a little less of an acute angle to go after.
Quixote got into him. When Quixote, you can see that it wasn't malicious or anything, but anytime you extend those arms, it's going to get called. All right, so you got Duncan, Sissoko with his size down there, Pickering, and then Baquero camped up right next to Jamali Waite. Toward the back, the header. It's just going to be wide as 901 FC was looking backdoor, and they had it toward Lucas Turchi.
Yeah, Turchi was looking for his 3rd goal of the season. It's a great run to the back post. You always want to be able to count on somebody cleaning up a ball that's overshot, but I think once it got outside the goal frame, that was going to be a tough ask to head it back goalward.
I don't know if you just saw Sissoko running away that time. Let's take a look at the kick again real quick. Nice feed to Turchi.
Yeah, it was a beautiful low ball. Not a lot of time for the defense to adapt. Turchi running onto it well, just couldn't get it on frame.
So when Sissoko was running away, you could see very clearly how big of a lick he took. He's got that cotton hanging out of his nose, and that cotton was white when it was put in. It is all red right now. But credit him, stayed in. Early 27th minute here as we're in the middle portion of the opening half here at AutoZone Park in Memphis. A little stutter step by Waite. Rolls this along the ground, and little contact enough to be called right there as they will take down Cavillo.
As you mentioned earlier, El Paso Locomotive Calvillo, a couple of goals on the season. Joaquin Rivas, a goal. 5 for Armando Moreno. The well hasn't been flowing freely for them. So as long as they can keep this at 0-0, they'll be happy if they can just find that one opportunity to try to steal one and then see where they go from there. But again, when they have not scored first, they're 0-11 this season.
901 with the ball in the middle third. Sissoko in the midfield. Carriaga. Pass Baquero. Quezada. Yeah, they're cutting off the passing lane to Baquero. Great job. He keeps his feet. Down and up quickly. He was trying to go middle. That may have been, it looked like maybe Knight coming through on the backside. It was a nice roller, but they saw it.
Talk about making something out of nothing. He was down on the ground, and the next thing you know, he's popped back up, and he's through 2 defenders. Excellent work by Quezada, creating an opportunity, and now a corner kick for Memphis 901 FC. Looked like that might have been Brandon Craig that cleared it away out of danger.
Fernando in the box. This is a similar formation to how they set up when Sissoko and Dollenmeyer went down earlier. See how this one comes up. There's Sissoko right there, right next to Akinyote. And they got some pushing going on, and this time they're going to go ahead and blow the whistle. That's the smart thing to do. They're doing a nice job as things becoming a little physical now to keep control of this match.
Look at Zach Duncan making his point.
I think that's Cavillo saying, look, you're talking to me and I'm getting pushed. a little help here. And Fernando jockeying for position. In traffic and does not take the angle. 901 FC had it there, point blank. It was clogged up, just couldn't get the friendly deflection.
I just wonder whose leg that came off of, because the first question was, how did that not go in? It looked like there were 2, maybe 3 901 FC boots right there for the tap in.
Oh, nice save.
Wow.
Wait with the kick save.
Yeah, it looked like that was going to be Knight Pickering to jam it home, but Jamali Waite with a terrific save.
Meanwhile, here's a chance for El Paso to get a bit of a run. It's going to be broken up by Hyndman. If Hyndman doesn't get that slide tackle and that touch, it's big-time counter opportunity for the Locomotive.
Absolutely. El Paso had a couple of strikers moving ahead into the center channel. It would have been a good opportunity for them.
Ruiz will work it to Rivas. Back to Dollenmeyer. Well, wait on that save, did the right thing. Look, if it's jammed up and congested, your priority number one is take away anything low, get down on the ground, spread out as much as you can, make him elevate it somewhere, and that's exactly what he did.
From point blank, that ball could have rebounded anywhere. It was great work to stay low but stay big.
Well, that time they went in, Ruiz never made a break for it, so it comes back out. Ruiz will take it now just briefly to Dollenmeyer. 31st minute here in the opening half. Now in the middle. Quixote fed it. It'll be directed out to the right side. Along the back line again for Craig. Dollenmeyer. Now Duncan's going to apply a little bit of pressure. Memphis looking for the takeaway. They'll turn. Coronado. Oh, late whistle. Late whistle. I think Hyndman was ready to make the turn.
Yeah, the transition was on. But I guess maybe one touch to the body too many for the officials, and now El Paso gets it right back in midfield. Memphis over the last 45 seconds to minute, they've been pressing 3-4 high. They've been selective in when they've done this. It does make a lot of defenses uncomfortable when you're trying to get out of your own half of the pitch, and there's an unforced error there in the attacking third. And Wilmer Cabrera putting his hands in his hair.
Don't forget, USL Summer Soccer continues on the CBS Sports Network with a rematch of the 2023 USL Championship playoffs. Detroit City FC shocked Players Shield the winners Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC. They're looking for revenge August 7th at 7 Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. 32nd minute, no score. El Paso and Memphis with a 7-1 shot advantage thus far and nearly 61% possession. But the thing that I think's discounted sometime when you look at El Paso, yes, they struggle to score. They conceded 32 goals. They're pretty good at passing and controlling, 80% on the pass accuracy.
Yeah, they need to be that tonight. They need to milk every bit of possession that they can get. Waiting until the last second there.
And I'm going to be curious. I was just going to mention that to you, right? At that point, Vaquero did not make a press, did not accelerate. So that's something he's going to kind of do and then wait maybe for what he thinks is the right moment, potentially in the second half, for that last 10 feet of acceleration to get a quick takeaway.
It mix up the tempo. It keeps the keeper, well, it should keep a keeper on his toes. Waite looked like he was smart enough to pop that away, but yeah, you're exactly right. You mix up the tempo. You just try to make the other team as unsettled as you can wherever they are.
Look at Moreno, may have had a chance that time, never really developed. Meanwhile, 901 FC trying to make a move.
That's good work by Knight Pickering out of the back, working the 1-2 with Cariaga, getting the ball back and freeing up some space and just a little bit of time for Memphis.
Quezada into the middle, touch back now to Hyndman. They're going to give Hyndman a little space to maneuver as he reverses direction. Now just a nice little one-on-one matchup. Frees it to Quezada. Into the corner, can't catch up with it as he makes his way into the runner boards. Well, they are looking a lot to Alvarado tonight in the corner in Quezada. He's obviously a guy that Stephen Glass has felt like we've given him some minutes. Let's get him some start. And he's seen something in training, it looks like, that he thinks they can exploit.
And so far, he looks like he's up for it, Jeff. It looks like he's making himself available, and if that's the game plan, they're certainly adhering to what Stephen Glass was hoping for tonight. Just hasn't borne any fruit yet, but still very early on here in the 34th minute.
Dollenmeyer. Up and over. Sissoko returns it. Into the 35th minute. El Paso. Well, with a little bit of shift in the lineup, some newcomers, Memphis has done a pretty solid job tonight staying organized. Still in the upper 50s in possession, keeping their spacing. That's the hardest thing to do. You shake things up and still try not to get bunched up.
The ball stayed in. Well headed on. I'll tell you, we're about 35 minutes in, and El Paso does not look like a team that has only 3 wins. They look like they're confident. They're staying compact and organized.
Well, your concerning number, if you're kind of a stats guy, 3 wins, all have been on the road. So they've gotten the results away from El Paso this year. So meanwhile, Memphis 6-3-2 at home this year. Memphis 3-2-0 in their last 5. El Paso, they're looking desperately for anything tonight. The last time they got any kind of a result was against Phoenix on the 15th of June, a 1-1 draw. The last win was almost a month ago. Well, actually, much more than a month ago on June 5th, a 1-0 win at San Antonio. It's been nearly 2 months they've been in the win column.
And that's if for fans out there that watch the USL Championship, even if you're not an El Paso fan, if you're just a casual observer, if you watch the home matches, you know, they play it at the stadium there in El Paso, the baseball stadium. It's beautiful. They have good fan support there. I know they want to win some at home for those fans too.
Duncan through the middle, just a little bit too much. They were looking for Pickering again, and that had to be less than a foot off his toe.
So close. Second bite at the apple there for Knight Pickering. Almost another great opportunity. Memphis, they are creating chances. There's no doubt about that. Got to finish it, though. This is a beautiful ball on the deck, though, by Zach Duncan. And Knight threw everything he had into it. You got to give the young man credit for doing what he did.
I think it may have been more the slide tackle defensively that caught his foot. We know the length of Knight Pickering. If he had had the ability to really get stretched out, I think he makes the contact.
And if he does, I mean, he's inside. I believe he was inside the frame, so that ball would have likely gone on target.
Hyman, little hop step, can't catch up with it.
It's up into section 113.
The smart play for El Paso. Just get it out, try to get reset. Memphis able to get it back in quickly, though. It's Brandon Craig who launched it up there. Fernando again. Looks at the back door. Couldn't get the initial shot off. Oh, and I think they may not seeing. Yeah, they're going to call it near side offside. He had a good run, and had it not been offsides, you may have found a foul and a PK on a jersey grab.
Might have done that.
He
might have done that, or the fact that he was able to maintain possession could have been another opportunity. Quick start here. Memphis with pressure. Oh. That was very close.
Yeah. So no jersey grab, just the arm around. Shot from distance is high and wide. Not a bad thought for El Paso right now. Shots and possession inside the Memphis defensive third that have been at a premium. So let Rivas rear back, see if he can get something from distance.
Yeah, it wasn't his best effort, but more importantly, it was a sign that he had some space and an opportunity to let it rip, and he did. Memphis won't want to see that again because Memphis may not be so lucky next time.
Not as much pressure up front on the back line for Memphis. They'll be able to shovel it around to Sissoko, back to Henry, and swing it out to the left side. They are good out. To Ward. Now Memphis tries to make that push. It's going to be Hyman. He's got Vaquero and Fernando. And Hyman will have it poked away and should have a corner coming up. So Beccaro looks like he'll take it.
Yeah, he had Beccaro on the trailing run, but it looked like he was covered up by Coronado on the way, so Hyman had to take that extra touch to try to get some space in the box. It's a good run.
So Fernando in the box next to Waite. They'll have 4 about 15 yards high for 901 FC. No one on the back door. Beccaro. Pickering with the header, and that is played off the line into the hands of Waite. Well, outstanding opportunity, good setup. Unfortunately for Memphis 901 FC, no result. And again, just excellent job played off the line there.
Wow. Right spot, right time. No doubt about that, Jeff. Good defense by El Paso Locomotive. The discipline to stay on the line.
Into the 40th minute. And again, we had a pretty long stoppage when Sissoko went down. I would venture to guess could see upwards of 5 minutes potentially added.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, we had that, and then yeah, with the corner kick issue that we had previously too, for sure. I'll tell you, Knight Pickering has had 3 good opportunities. He's finding himself in good spots. He's working hard to get where he needs to be. I'm sure that's got to excite Memphis fans here at AutoZone Park, but it may be a little frustrating for Knight because he's doing all the right things, just an inch or so off from getting a goal.
Cavillo, he wound up, never fired. In El Paso. One-timer, a little two-hopper from Ricky Ruiz. And Henry able to get down and cut down the angle. Let's take a look at it again. Dollenmeyer, what a job, played off the line right into the hands of Waite. Great job by our camera operators and our production staff here. Great angle.
Yeah, I don't know if that clearance, the way he did it, was intentional, but it worked out. It was effective.
Little stutter step, trying to feed it through. He had no one break in the middle. I don't think that was a bad feed. Had an opportunity. And I think it was Ruiz who just didn't make the break on that feed. Back to the right is Stauffer trying to make a few moves. He's playing up for the back line, trying to give him an extra attacker. Fernando from distance, and that a little bit lower angle, so a little closer than the last shot from distance we saw.
El Paso starting to feel it just a little bit. They're getting some opportunities inside 25 yards, letting rip. Coronado with a drive. Memphis with the goal kick, but here we are 0-0, and El Paso starting to kind of get a little bit of a toehold, a little bit of a foothold into this match. As we see possession now 55-45 in favor of Memphis, but El Paso creeping their way into some opportunities.
Tell you what, El Paso's got some heavy legs on that back line from distance. They can find it. May be a case in the second half for Wilmer Cabrera to throw some guys in the box, fire from distance, and hope for a deflection. Easy pick up that time for Jamali Waite.
You know, this hasn't been breakneck speed, but on both ends of the pitch, we're seeing both clubs have their opportunities here.
Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Middle of the 43rd minute, Sissoko up the middle to Duncan. Duncan getting tied up, taken down from behind. That was Zakanyote, who's a physical guy. He's 190 duels, 43 tackles, 20 interceptions. That's going to be his job. He'll take a few fouls, but you'll take what he gives you physically. Long into the corner. Quezada keeps it in.
Interesting call by the center official when the linesman, who is literally 18 inches away, keeps the flag down. Foul against Memphis. That'll go to El Paso.
There really wasn't much contact. He had moved his back toward the ball. It looked as if more momentum is really what caused him to lose balance than anything else.
I'll just say what I normally say. I guess he had the better angle from 30 yards away.
So, Jamali Wade's going to take the free kick. Sissoko skies, but that'll go out of bounds. And that'll mean it'll stay with El Paso. So 1 minute and then whatever stoppage time they allow. But we expect still have ample opportunity for either of these two clubs to get a score before the end of the first half. And Memphis may have a chance here. Duncan looking for Fernando if he can race down there. That one's going to make it through the feet and out of bounds.
It's good hustle. I mean, that's a play that's not in vain because you never know if a guy stumbles. Fernando's got the speed. He's got the skill to turn that into something out on the wing.
And Jamali Waite's been busy, especially about the last 20 minutes of this match. Memphis with 8 shots thus far. 8-3 shot advantage. And again, Dollenmeyer also played one off the line for him.
It's a good knockdown by Hindman to Baquero.
Fernando gets around the defender, one-on-one, and another great kick save by Waite. At what point does it turn from opportunity to frustration for 901 FC?
That's a great question. Another terrific leg save by Jamali White. If El Paso had a hockey team, and maybe they do, I'd sign him up as a goaltender for hockey. He's definitely a good soccer keeper of the net for sure.
Just outstanding. 3 minutes, so not as much as we anticipated. And still plenty of time.
And let me say this too, Jeffrey, that the shot by Fernando, it was a terrific shot because he went back post. I thought Waite did a good job covering the near post as he should. Here's another look at it. The near post is covered. I don't know what size shoe he's got, but if it's a size smaller, that might be in the back of the net. That's terrific work by Jamali White.
Now, second kick save of the night, that much more intentional than the one he stuck out, even though, I mean, he meant to stick it out, but Pickering's shot was just desperation, try to get wide and big as you could. And fortunately for him, now that first kick save, the ball found his foot that time. Just great job.
And now El Paso, and we're going to have a foul here, I think, near midfield. A little gamesmanship slowing down the restart.
Well, can Memphis break through the next minute and a half or so? A late goal would be huge for either club. But Memphis has really been the one that's shown to have the opportunities as of late. Great job that time by Quezada to take it off his foot and get the steal. We'll go a little wide, looking for just a bit of help. They've got Baquero, it looks like. No, that's Pickering making the move inside. And one man down. Should have about a minute or so here, and Ward going to get whistled for the foul. And Memphis leads the league. Yellow card, second in fouls, but with the aggressive style, you're just going to take that. You don't want to pull the reins too much on your club.
No, you don't. You want to make sure that when players come in on you on a 50-50 ball, that they know that there's going to be at least a little bit of a price of some contact. That was Steven Rivas. Thankfully, he's up. He's okay here in the last minute of first half added time.
Now trying to go way over the top to see if anyone can pick it up, but they could. Meanwhile, Memphis now trying to get a into the half rush. They'll send it wide, and that's going to be too far, and that took a little bit of funny hop. Quezada, outstanding job to keep it in. Returns it across the middle. Cleared, and we're past the 3-minute mark here. And that will end the opening half. Well, things were kind of clogged up for a while as El Paso did a good job of stopping Memphis runs. But about the last 15 to 20 minutes, Tim, Memphis started to get loose.
They did. And the interesting thing of that, Memphis got their opportunities, but even El Paso had a couple of counter punches in there. But I would say on the on the whole of the first half. Memphis, much more the aggressor in this, and they'll need to become second half, as now we've gone halfway through. Memphis with some opportunities, and here's that last look, Jeff.
Cariago went to the right side, had it stuffed. Meanwhile, Quezada was very active in the first half, and just wait, some great saves. We're through one half of play here in downtown Memphis at AutoZone Park. No score through the first 45 between Memphis 901 FC and El Paso Locomotive FC. Well, it was a furious final 15 minutes of the opening half. Fans getting a treat, although there's no score between El Paso and Memphis through a half of play. Well, Tim, you can't mention Memphis, Tennessee without the mighty Mississippi.
Yeah, that goes hand in hand. And while Memphis 901 FC rolls on the river, they've come up with something that maybe even Tina Turner might be proud of.
Well, they're introducing tonight's newest kit, the River Kit. Let's take a look at the story behind these kits.
The Mississippi River, one of America's iconic waterways, is the lifeblood of Memphis. This mighty river has shaped the city's history, economy, and culture. The river's dual character, both awe-inspiring and perilous, has been a constant theme throughout history.
The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why.
Yeah, I said what I said. I don't care, I paint the town red.
If you can survive this, it's going to make the whole story that much better.
The bright horses have broken free from the fields.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
You can see it in my eyes, only want the best. Running every night, won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky, got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Well, enjoying the evening on the bluff here at AutoZone Park as the fans looking for their 901 FC club to break through with a goal early in the second half. We'll see if that plays out. Meanwhile, there's so much going on around the USL Championship. As you see, South Georgia, Tormenta FC, and got Nick Akato transferred from EFL League One club Burton Ben FC. And you can see right there, OKC Energy announced the expansion of club ownership. It's always good to see more people getting involved.
Oh, no doubt about that. And people are flocking to the USL leagues. It's fantastic. And, of course, in Oklahoma City, OKC Energy FC announced the expansion of club ownership with Echo becoming the majority owner. And the team is due to expand and continue to be ambitious in the months and the years ahead.
Meanwhile, we can't discount what's going over in France, the Olympic Games, and there is some USL representation.
Oh, that's right. Las Vegas Lights, Edison Azcona from the Dominican Republic, and of course, Loudoun United's Riley Badois. I'll say Badois because it's France. But they're both representing over there. It's great to see that happening in any of the USL levels.
So plenty going over in France the next couple of weeks on the pitch. Meanwhile, that's what's going on around the league. So we've talked about what's setting up, about 12 matches. In fact, 12 matches after tonight for 901 FC. They sit with 31 points. You look at it and say, well, you're only 7 behind New Mexico. 3 matches in hand, a potential 9 more points for New Mexico. But if you go Sacramento all the way down to Phoenix, that's just 10 points separating 7 playoff spots.
There's a mad scramble, no doubt about that. El Paso Locomotive, let's be honest, they have a lot of work. They've got to more than double their current point tally if they're even to have a shout here. But look at Phoenix Rising, FC Tulsa still in the mix there. Of course, Memphis, they want to get in the top half to have that home field advantage. They've been terrific at home, and they would love to keep it that way. Stephen Glass, I know, would love to deliver that for the Memphis fans.
They'll have to make a push, but Sacramento, as you see, only has 1 match in hand against 901 FC. Challenge of 12 matches, but yes, that's definitely doable, sitting only 4 points back of second place.
Absolutely, and those are standings coming into tonight. That's not the live table. That will shift as the night goes on. Let's take a look at some scores. That was a barn burner there. Detroit City and Rhode Island, Jeff, 1 apiece, and, of course, full-time Hartford Athletic and Birmingham Legion at 2-2. Other scores, too, Jeff. Looks like 0-0 as we are underway in the 20 to 23rd minute across much of the rest of the USL Championship right now as we go from coast to coast.
Going back to that Rhode Island score, Tim, been incredibly impressed by the expansion team, Rhode Island. Right now, they're sitting in a playoff spot over the Eastern Conference.
They are, and that is tough to do. We've been there, we've done that, had the T-shirt. It's tough to do, and to be able to do that, but they do have some clubs knocking at the door. It's just so strange to see Pittsburgh Riverhounds in 10th place, though. That's just so bizarre to see, but that's just been the kind of year that it's been, and that's because of the ambition of these USL Championship clubs.
Keep an eye on Louisville and New Mexico. If Louisville gets the win, that would help Memphis. Meanwhile, here in Memphis, still no score. Memphis 901 FC and El Paso Locomotive FC. Well, we'll see which team is able to break through first in the second half. There was a lot of activity in the opening half, yet no goals for either club, even though Memphis was able to pepper El Paso Locomotive late in the opening half. But unfortunately for Memphis 91 FC, it was Jamali Waite who was in the way of a lot of those opportunities for Memphis. Let's kind of see, Tim, how things went in the opening half.
You know, Memphis got out on the front foot. They had the first opportunity. That dummy by Fernando Springs Cariaga tries to get through two players, but that was blocked. And that's kind of how things went early on. And then Quezada, with the nice turn, was able to almost create something out of nothing as Knight Pickering was right there at the doorstep. And then there's Pickering again. Pickering's had two, maybe three good opportunities. And we got to say, Zach Duncan and Quezada have been effective on the wings too, right, Jeff?
They have done a nice job being able to get the turns. Maybe one of the better plays, that's Dallenmeyer taking that ball off the line.
Might be a candidate for save of the week, or maybe this one here from Jamali White. He's been outstanding, and he's kept Memphis off of the scoreboard. And really, in the balance of things, Memphis might deserve to at least scratch a goal out at this point, but that's not the reality.
Well, here's how it is stacked up. 57% possession for Memphis, out shooting El Paso 9-4, 3-2. As far as shots on target, you can see the passing number there is for Memphis. Few more set pieces. They're winning the duels. Fouls about even. And it's a good number for Memphis, again, who's second in the league in fouls, only to have 5 fouls in a physical match.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as the match goes on, if El Paso's feeling it, I mean, being at the bottom of the table, if we're at 0-0 or we're at a tie score with about 20 minutes to go, I don't think that they're going to park the bus and be happy with a point. They need threes. Memphis wants threes because they're pushing up the standings, but El Paso really wants to finish these last couple of months with a flourish and at least give themselves a chance to sneak in the back door of the playoffs.
And if you don't have a chance maybe to climb the ladder and get the playoffs, look, if you're a team on the outside looking in, throw a hand grenade inside the league standings and mess everything up for everyone else.
There's nothing like throwing a wrench into the works, that's for sure. And this has been an exciting match, but there's Knight Pickering. And Knight has had he had a really good first half, but maybe he also had a very frustrating first half because he's had a couple of good opportunities, and he has been either on or almost latching on to some crosses for Memphis, creating some opportunities, and almost had the goal off of the corner kick. That touch that was saved off the line by Dollenmeyer, that was off of the head of Knight Pickering, who put it on frame, which was terrific work because that was actually a little bit of a wider angle. I was actually a little surprised that he was able to put that on as accurately as he did, but that's what the pros do, Jeff, and we're underway for the second half.
Well, and the luxury for Stephen Glass tonight, Lapa, Marlin, Jimenez, all guys you see garnering a lot of minutes and starts. Depending on when he wants to pull it, can put out not just some fresh legs, but some impact players like this match.
And that could shake things up the last 30 minutes. That's an excellent point. He has some quality coming off of the bench, a luxury he may not have necessarily had so much last week when he had to use backup keeper Aaron Seeger for the last few minutes up the field as a striker, which, by the way, is every goalkeeper's dream to at least have a chance to score a goal. So he got to live the dream last week, but tonight he's just standing at the ready as the backup keeper.
Told you about a lot of the exciting stuff in the USL Championship. Don't forget, tune into ESPN2 for USL Summer Soccer Showdown in a top-of-the-table interconference clash. Powerhouse Louisville City FC facing off against perennial playoff contenders Sacramento Republic FC Saturday, August 10th, 8 Eastern on ESPN2. Let's see if 91 FC can settle in here and press earlier. It took them a while to get going as El Paso clogged it up a lot of the first half. They were looking for Pickering on the left side that time.
And the thing about Knight Pickering, as a lot of USL Championship fans will know, is he does work hard box to box, and then just quietly out of the blue, he'll just show up on the other side of the pitch ready to try to bury one off the back post. Coaches love to see that. They love to see that hustle on the far side of the field and not give up on the ball that's maybe overhit.
A little frustration that time for Steven Rivas. That ball's going to get plunked out again, and Akeem Ward will bring it up just a little bit. Now here comes Memphis to Duncan. A little hill touch attempt that time by Beccaro. And it's going to go out of bounds. Beccaro, I think, was trying to get that hill touch down the line for Pickering.
Yeah, tried to roll that off the bottom of his boot. Didn't quite work out how he wanted, but trying to show a little creativity fitting in here with Memphis 901 FC.
Vaquero a little more marked tonight than he was in his debut. He was able to get a little bit more free a week ago. I think plenty of people saw enough on film to know they needed to have a body on Vaquero, but I think that's what's going to open things up for Quezada as we have contact on the far side.
All right, here we go, Jeff. This will be and a quick restart here for El Paso.
Trying to make the turn, and a really nice job of hustle by Luis Fernando. Recognized the quick kick and got that back there immediately, so they were not able to get anything in front of the net.
It's an interesting choice by El Paso for the quick restart, because at a 0-0 game, they would have had an opportunity to try to line something up inside 12 yards off of the free kick, but they decided to try to take an opportunity. They saw something there, but thankfully Luis Fernando for Memphis was able to marshal that out of bounds for a goal kick.
Soko is looking deep to Hyndman. Here in the 49th minute, just underway in the second half. See how El Paso deals with the weather in the Delta. Of course, from a lot drier climate, it's hot to say the least in El Paso, but contending now the fact that Memphis is the West, a lot of these teams come east, not used to the 68% humidity out there.
That's a great point.
Up high, Vaquero. To the right side. Duncan got played off the ball. There's a lot of contact over there. They let them play on turn, and that one will go well wide of the back post.
That looked like it went in.
Flag stayed down with the assistant referee. Center referee, no call there, so play on as it is. You know, we talked in the first half about these kits. The River kit by Memphis 901 FC and the road kit for El Paso is good. Here's another look at that, Jeff. And as you said, a nice layoff to Duncan. And there was no foul there. He just went down to lunge to get the ball. And then Carriaga almost scooped that goalward. That was nice. But we talked about the Memphis kits, and El Paso has a very attractive looking road kit. So that would be hard to vote against. But then maybe the next question.
Comes Ward on the backside, makes a move. Oh, and a block at the last second. He had a clear shot. I believe that was Stauffer that got back there and just got enough of the foot on it to send it straight up.
Shot straight up gave Jamali White really an easy grab there as he was able to pick that out of the crowd. Oh, good sliding challenge. Oh, that's a nice little juggling effort there by Rivas. And now the foul. The other question, the kits, but which is the better song? Is it Memphis by Johnny Rivers or El Paso by Marty Robbins?
There you go. It's two classics. And that is just over the top. And a little bit off as he got tied up again.
And for those that didn't have an earworm coming into the game, you are welcome.
There you go. The West Texas town of El Paso. 51st minute. That'll make its way all the way into the box as it picked up while he wait. On the quiet side of AutoZone Park after dealing with the Bluff City Mafia for the first 45 minutes. Now a little room for El Paso to work. Cavillo leaves it into the middle. That'll be Akinyote. Off to the left. They've got Rivas in the middle, and they've got Rivas now. He picks up a quick double team. From the corner of the 18, sit back out. Couldn't get a strong one-timer. There's a little chip in there.
I'm not sure if that was a pass or a shot, Jeff. That was a tough one to discern.
I think he wanted a shot, but then thought better of it, just a little chip pass. Could have been a little chili dipper off the tee.
By the way, I noticed on cue, I think Bluff City Mafia is listening to the broadcast because as soon as you said that, the drums fired up again.
High and long to the left, and they got some room. Golden opportunity for El Paso. Well, it was there for the Locomotive, but Moreno Just a tad too much elevation.
Of course, it was Marino looking for his 6th goal of the year, and that one just rising over the bar. He had good, clean contact on it. Fortunately for Memphis 901 FC and for Tristan Henry, that one sailed just a little bit high, but as quickly as it rebounded back, it did rattle the back of the backside of the net. And for a moment, you had to make sure, okay, that one didn't go in, did it? But no, out for a goal kick.
53rd minute, we are still scoreless here in Memphis. Memphis still with 56% possession, and that was the 4th shot of the night for El Paso. Memphis with an 11-4 advantage on shots. El Paso starting to throw and go over the top, and that's going to be well offsides. And now maybe a little earlier than you had anticipated at the half. Let's just take another look at this one, Tim.
Yeah, there's the earlier opportunity. And it was well headed on. Nice soft touch. And just scooped it just over the net.
Caromed off the facade of the dugout on the back of the net. That's where you saw the net shake. Well, here come your first substitutions. Lapa and Marlin are coming in. Stephen Glass not going to wait to the backside of the second half. He's going to go ahead and get him in here early in the second half.
Looks like Memphis has sent Emerson Heineman, and then also I believe Baquero was the other substitution. So really like for likes in both instances.
Now may have seen the newest member, Panos Armanakis. And he's in for Pickering. So another one of the newcomers in. Lapa. That'll be Carriega. And Duncan. Inside they've got Fernando. Work back out. Turchi over to Sissoko. Duncan, quick pass, nearly got it back. That'll get sent well out of bounds, about 10 rows high into the stands at midfield. So it'll be fun to watch this combination for 901 FC. You've got some of your big guns out there in Lapa and Santos, your 2 big goal scorers, 7 goals apiece.
Talk about shuffling the deck to start the second half. That's going to throw a different look at El Paso, and I think Stephen Glass has seen enough early on that he wants to shake things up and try to create some more chances.
Marlin wrote him on the ball. There's Armanakis, our first look at him out of Australia. Had a couple of goals and assists so far this year with Phoenix, and he brings quite a resume and a lot of ability for Memphis.
And Armanakis, as you mentioned, coming from Phoenix, that is an excellent organization, great culture. And when talking with Stephen Glass, asking him why he came into the club, there's a drive that's going to maybe clear the stadium. That one just kept on going.
On 4th Street.
Yeah. But he said, one of the things about Armanakis and the other recent signees is they have, the word has gotten around the league that this is a place where the player chemistry is actually really good, and this is a place where the players would like to come. And for him, look forward to coming into Memphis. So a couple of substitutions here for El Paso. So a little bit of chess going on, Jeff.
Cabrera checking in. Mashobane checking in. He's the South African. Tumi Mashobane with a goal and 2 assists and 17 shots. Youth ball with the Kaiser Chiefs in South Africa. Then he came to Kentucky Community College and Olivet Nazarene into the States. Played a little bit with San Diego. In fact, 4 years of San Diego loyal. Cabrera on the near side. Cabrera with some room off the foot of Sissoko. Duncan looking for some clearance. There's a whistle. Well, it might be, I don't know if he's going to get him for the kick maybe being too high, or if there was other contact on that yellow card. I mean, I don't think it was it's going to be on Turchi, so it wasn't on Sissoko. At first I thought maybe he thought Soko's leg was too high, but he wasn't near anyone. It couldn't be a dangerous kick. Turchi must have made some contact off the ball.
Interested to see what prompted that. Hakeem Ward's trying to lobby for him. Turchi seems He's not confused, but he does seem a little frustrated by it. It must have been something after the play because
Right.
Memphis gets the restart.
58th minute. Well, when I want to see, what they've done for their staff in the front office and with Stephen Glass and coaches in the past, they've been able to make good in-season moves. But I think you'd be hard-pressed to say, Tim, even it's a relatively short history for 901 FC, the quality and volume of pickups they've had here over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it's been puzzle pieces that will be helpful for them. That'll help, as we see tonight, when Memphis 901 FC is healthy, they do have some firepower. They have some stability coming off of the bench. As a coach, that's you can't ask for much more than that.
Some nice footwork there by Armanakis. The first time we've seen him be able to handle the ball.
Wouldn't that be something if he had an impact on his first match here in Memphis, in his first week in Memphis?
So they'll go left side to Ward. Ward looking through. He had Armanakis there. Now the shot on goal by Marlin. A little short hopper into the hands of Jamali Wade. So Santos quickly with his 39th shot of the season.
If that ball was a rib, he knocked the barbecue sauce off of it right there. That was a rip.
59th minute here in Memphis. The contact, but a 50-50 ball, not enough for a whistle as Churchy pressing on quickly back now to Cariaga. Duncan looks ahead. Had Armanakis a little too strong in the pass.
Yeah, maybe a little miscommunication too. Maybe a zig without a zag. This is good discernment here by Akeem Ward. He tried to make the entry pass in the middle because at that moment Marlon Santos was offside, but on the subsequent ball he was onside and took that good rip. But Jamali White again up to the task.
Clogged up a little bit and just a little bit of a hold that time by Bruno Lapa. Trying to get around it, but I think he got the arm around. Trying to gain a little bit of leverage there. 11-4 in favor of 901 FC, and the shots again 57% possession by 901 FC, and Memphis winning 60% of the duels thus far. However, El Paso's got to like where they are right now in a scoreless tie match.
Yeah, at this point, still getting a little bit of the ball. Memphis has had some ambition, but for El Paso, they got to be happy, but they got to start taking some more chances.
Cabrera. And he's taken off his feet by Akeem Ward. Nothing malicious, but still got tied up. And they're gonna call it enough for a yellow card. I didn't really think it was that malicious, but got into the back and took him down.
So now Akeem into the books, second 901 FC player in the last 5 minutes to go in the books with Lucas Turchi. Now the Memphis captain. I don't know if that's the stopping of a promising attack or what they're going to call this. I think he was off and away and just clipped him enough, and it's not necessarily the severity, but it's the situation that might have gotten him the card.
71 yellow cards now on the season for 901 FC. All right, lining up for the shot, Cavillo. Eric Cavillo out of Palmdale, California, third year of the team. He's been on the El Salvador national team. 17 shots on the year. He can put this on net if he wants to.
It's about 30 yards out from goal. It's wide to Tristan Henry's left. See what they do.
Chips it in, and the header's going to go wide to the right of Henry. Good job by the 901 FC defense. They put 3 on him once they saw that ball was going to go toward the back post.
Yeah, they crowded around him. Didn't give him much opportunity to turn that in toward the frame.
So 901 FC a chance to build from the back line. Churchy, Sissoko. Memphis may be dropping just a little bit of help here in their defensive third. See if they can get a little acceleration up the middle. Armanakis now with the ball on the near side.
It's a nice touch on the outside of the boot to free up some space.
Sissoko back to Duncan. looking for Marlon that time, lost his footing. I don't think it was a bad pass. I think he just lost his footing. Memphis may have gotten away with a little bit of a dunk and push behind the ref's back that time.
Maybe just a nudge.
Here's Ward. He has Armanakis to a left. That's where he'll go. Armanakis right now, one-on-one. They quickly grab a second defender on him. Arriaga to Duncan. Duncan does such a nice job, whether he's helping out along the back line or coming up the middle, just kind of controlling the middle of the field.
He does, and he takes as well as he gives, too, defensively. He's a good player. He's been a great pickup for Memphis 901 FC in his spell here.
Yeah, Marlon into the 18. They're looking for him down there.
A little bit of a disappointing entry pass there. Now El Paso can break if they can pick up a little bit more numbers.
This is the danger, and a nice give and go. Shot toward net, and an outstanding job. Sissoko coming in from behind to play it off.
He's going to walk out of here tonight with a bloody nose and a bruised foot. That one took its toll for sure. That was a brilliant play by Sissoko, sweeping in at the last moment. It looked like El Paso was going to have a clean go at Tristan Henry. Not so much.
I believe that was Eric Tavillo again, racing in. This is a great give and go. Just a great pass.
Sissoko played him onside, made up for it, though, with the block. But now corner kick, a dead ball opportunity here for El Paso Locomotive.
Cabrera will take the corner. And again, they'll play up on the ball here in the center of your screen. That's Cavillo who just took the shot. They won't go to him. They're going to throw it out there. That makes its way all the way through. They just catch it on the backside of the 18. Nothing really ever developed. It's hard to send the ball all the way through the 18 untouched, but you nearly saw it.
Not sure how they did that, but that had to be an anxious moment for Tristan Henry, because when it's on the ground like that, you can't see where it's at, and then you've just basically got to slide step and hope that you're right on target if that shot gets through. Fortunately for Memphis, no shot taken.
Marino jockeying for a position down there right next to Henry. You got Turchi, another defender down there. Corner now coming up, and again it's going to be Cavillo to take it. Looking for a one-timer, but he got up under that one. He had it. I mean, look, that corner was not bad, and that's a case you got to time it out perfectly. And I think that Michobain maybe just pulled the trigger just a hair too soon on it. He got up under it.
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, that corner kick was put on a dime. That was obviously a design play from Wilmer Cabrera.
Fernando trying to get it toward Marlon. You got Armanakis coming in from the backside. Memphis will run a corner out of this. And Armanakis, now we've seen him have some nice footwork out there as Fernando delivered it, but be eager to see the Australian here, Panos Armanakis, on the corner kick.
Well, let's see what he can do with the left boot here.
'66th minute.
I don't know if Fernando's the target or if it's going to be Turchi.
Header from Marlon, looking for it at least. Never developed.
Looks like
a whistle, yeah.
Maybe a push. It's right at the top of the 6. But yeah, it looked like at first maybe Fernando or maybe Turchi, but he split the difference there, as you mentioned, with Marlon Santos.
See now here in the 66th minute, Memphis putting a little bit more pressure on the back line of El Paso. Duncan on the sideline. Able to work in between the feet that time of Stauffer, but didn't get far enough away to do anything. Turchi, meanwhile, looking for a little help, has Hakeem Ward. Ward will just go back to Henry, who plays out of net here. Well, the pressure up top for Memphis in the back line for El Paso is good, but we've seen what is the kryptonite of pushing up. A couple of counter opportunities for El Paso.
That's right, and right now at 0-0, it would just take one to turn this game on its head. El Paso hanging tough with Memphis here, 2/3 of the way through.
Armanakis tried to thread it over. Oh, big contact after the clearance. And another yellow's coming out on Memphis. Boy, you could see. And I think if you see this replay, Marlon may be fortunate it's not a little bit more severe. He'll get a yellow, though. Maybe a little frustration out there for 901 FC, who numbers-wise, one of these, it's a box score type game. If you come up the score and look at the box score, you would assume you have a 2 or 3 goal lead. However, you're sitting here scoreless.
Yeah, here's another look at it, Jeff. Oh, he stepped on his foot.
Yeah. Stepped on his foot, little shove there, little arm bar on the right side.
Was that Dollenmeyer? Still trying to see who the player is that's down for El Paso.
That'd be the second time tonight Dollenmeyer's been down. He went down when Sissoko went down early on
No, it's not Dollenmeyer.
Okay.
That's going to be, I believe that's Brandon Craig.
Out of Philadelphia has a goal on the season. First year with the team. Loan from Philadelphia Union. Came through the U.S. Youth team system in the under-20s. As you see the look on the fans' face here at AutoZone Park. A lot of excitement early, but now you see the tension starting to creep in here over the last 22 minutes.
Yeah, not quite as free-flowing, but still some opportunities to be had. Still plenty of ways to go. And also, both coaches still have a couple of subs in their back pocket if they're looking for maybe one last shakeup.
Wapa applies just a little bit of pressure. Duncan quickly over to Marlin. Marlin can't make the turn, and there's the flag, goes up. Took him off his feet, so Memphis have a good free kick opportunity. That's the reaction of most fans. That's Dollenmeyer that got into him. Good spot for a free kick here for 901 FC. They're going to have a lot of options. They can bring it high, space it out. They can go to the 18. Wapa taking a long look at this.
Yeah, the question is, do you try to put this right on the spot 12 yards away to get some forward momentum, or do you even try to challenge it closer to Jamali White, who's been fantastic in the air tonight and on the ground?
Carriego way up high. They're going to go into the 18. Makes his way through, turn away Carriego. Nice job. He was able to wait on the ball and control it. So Memphis maintains possession here. Turchi just doesn't have enough on it. I don't know if Turchi thought that up front they may make a break for that ball. That was more of a pass to put it in there looking for a deflection, not as much as a shot.
Yeah, so nothing coming of that free kick opportunity. A wasted chance for Memphis here in the 70th minute.
Off the foot that time of Cabrera. In the midfield, 71st minute. Cavillo sends it back. Stoffer to the right side. Ward got a touch on it. Now Duncan. Duncan trying to accelerate. He runs into 2 defenders. Tried to send it through. Memphis probably would have been offsides if Marlin up there. He's ahead of the last defender already.
Yeah, I think Marlin Santos and Bruno Lapa were both offside, so that was going to be a ball that he had to let go anyway.
Now the Locomotive have some kids up top. They had 3 up top, but they'll send it back, try to space things out. Back in Yode moved it. Now here's another run on the line, left it back. A little too far behind. Had that been a little bit more severe angle forward, would have had a golden opportunity to one-timer.
Yeah, it looked like Cabrera was going to have an opportunity. Lucas Turchi on the spot to clear from Memphis. But again, ambition. That's what El Paso's showing here in the 72nd minute of this 0-0 match. They've got to feel like they're on equal footing at this point, despite Memphis having more shots.
Stoffer racing up. He'll cut toward the middle. Loose ball. Now El Paso starting to take the initiative. Here's the point you made at the half. Now you can tell that they're going to be a little bit more deliberate up top. They've got 4 wide, 4 on 4, and the shot, and a great save that time. And the first big save of the night by Tristan Henry.
And really, the first real save of the night by Tristan Henry comes here in the 72nd minute, and it was a brilliant one. Strong hands. Back into traffic, but fortunately Memphis had that marshaled away out of danger.
Meanwhile, Fernando turns for Memphis. Through to Marlin, a foot race and a great save, and another one by Wade, and turning that time is going to be Lapa. Not much on that one, but Jamali Wade again. When you talk about highlight saves, that just goes in the ledger of a few he's made tonight.
End-to-end action. It's taken 72 minutes, but now we've got it. And Memphis again showing ambition, but falling just short again.
It's through, but he's off.
Oh, and that might be a yellow for delay there. We'll see. Taking a rip after the whistle.
Off the upper 90 on the crossbar. And a lot of words by Armando Moreno.
Here's another look at that save by Tristan Henry, and then ushered away. And then just a little too far out ahead. And of course, there's Jamali White with a terrific save, and then Lapa just not able to do too much. I think too much spin on the ball, and he hit it with the inside of his foot. I think that one just killed a couple of worms on the way to the goalkeeper.
Now Moreno whipped the kick and a few words, did draw the yellow card.
He did, yes. So I think he would have been okay with the words, but when you take a rip at goal, that's a bit of a no-no.
Yeah. Like it wasn't a love tap either on that kick. He had a lot of velo behind that ball.
We heard it rattle the goalpost up here in the press box.
See what El Paso can do here. Maybe hesitate a little too long to get some sort of a counter, at least quick counter. They'll take possession though.
Looks like Carson Von Steeg may be getting ready to come in. He's got some speed to burn on the wing, some fresh legs.
It looks like Quezada, who was so active in the first half, haven't heard much from him. We got I think there's a Lapa that might be down.
Take a look at
it tough.
Yeah, Memphis tried to restart, but I think in this case the referee going safety first in this case to make sure that Quezada's okay. Here's another look.
Yeah, boy, that's a lot of contact. That's a hip check right there in the middle of the pitch. Coronado got into him. So Von Steeg make his way in. Quezada very active in the first half. Haven't called his name much in the second half, though. They've obviously made the adjustment on him. So they'll give him a new look in Von Steeg. Then after that play, Carriega and Stauffer exchanged a couple of little shoves. So now things picking up as far as this game getting really physical.
These last 15 minutes, hold on to your seat, folks. I think this is about to get ratcheted up. This free kick is about 25 yards off of the end line, but this is going to be a good. This is going to be a good wide angle to take this from. But this is an opportunity. I think it's close enough. You take a shot. The way that Waite's been playing, I don't know. Unless you curl that upper 90. But it's also a good chance to, if you just use the pitching wedge here, get this into some onrush of Memphis players, you could get something out of this. Good opportunity for Memphis here.
Lapa to the backside header. It's going to be wide to the left of Jamali Wade. They were looking on that backside, had it set up nice, just couldn't get the angle on the deflection.
I think they're going to get an offside on Memphis as well. I think maybe just a step too soon, mistimed the run, but nevertheless Memphis another opportunity that goes begging here in the 76th minute. But again, they continue to put pressure on El Paso. El Paso's been up to the task thus far.
On the attack, a 15-8 shot advantage for 901 FC. Pushed back out, but not cleared by Memphis. But Chauvain's got it. Centering pass high. Marlin closing distance. About 20 yards out. And right now, you'd be fine if Tershi just sent it downfield. Armanakis will at least get it into midfield.
Give a chance for Memphis to reset their back four.
Good spell of possession here for El Paso, but they finally give it up. At least Duncan momentarily is going to stop it. Quick touch to Lapa. 77th minute. You've got Marlin making a run down the right side. And boy, you can see right there he gives up a lot of size to Dollenmeyer.
I think most people in the stadium give up size to Dollenmeyer. He's a big drink of water, but he's got good mobility.
Just rode him off the ball that time. Early 78th minute. Arriaga with the left foot moves it out to Fernando. Fernando, heel touch. Armanakis can't catch up with it. So again, INFC presses into the attacking third. Just can't finish it off. El Paso's given up some possession in their defensive third. Memphis, even though they've got numerous shots tonight with 15. See right there, you're just one pass off at times.
Yeah, just a little bit off, but there's been opportunity, no doubt about that.
Right now,
oh, that's great work to get out of trouble, but Memphis gets it right back.
Ooh, Armanakis, little stutter step. Armanakis, little tabletop there. We had chop block if you're playing American football.
Chop block, a backdrop.
Yeah, Armanakis has some size as well. And see who that is they're picking up for.
Dollenmeyer.
Dollenmeyer took the brunt of that contact, even though he had the leverage, but he took the brunt of it. He took it up in the face, got that hit back. Then between he and Sissoko, they've taken some big hits tonight, but both of them still battle out there.
There they are, taking a licking.
Into the 80th minute early. Right now, as both teams start to look at this clock is racing for 9-0 and it's going really slow for El Paso.
Sure, and with coming up on the last 10 minutes and whatever added time there might be, then the question becomes, if this score stays this way, does El Paso at some point decide to take the mentality of, we'd just be happy getting out of here with a point?
I mean, it's a success for your El Paso in last place. Look, you'd like to get 3 points. You go on the road and get a point, though. You'll be pleased with that. Meanwhile, Memphis, coming in, 3 points, especially with 12 matches to go after the night, paramount. Probably have a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth tonight if you're the home team leaving with just 1 point.
Yeah, and especially when the teams around you have a match in hand, at least some, maybe even 2 or more. Yeah, you want to make as much out of what you got left for sure. They'll want to do that, and I think you'll see them continue to press, which for El Paso Locomotive might be a good thing, may create some opportunities on a counter.
Armanakis got around one. Armanakis gets a little separation, feeds it to Marlin. Marlin, it's going to be wide, and we'll see if Waite was able to get the toe on that one.
I think that one's going to be out for a goal kick, Jeff. It looked like Waite got close to it. I don't think they're going to call a deflection on that. But Armanakis endearing himself to the Memphis fans. This is a terrific 35-yard run, and then the layoff. I'm a little surprised that Marlin didn't go with the inside of his right foot and try to curl it back toward the goal, but only he knows why in that moment. And Marlin scored a bag of goals this year, so no reason to question that. But Memphis, another great opportunity here with 10 minutes to go in the second half.
Sissoko in the center circle. Arriaga. Armanakis chips it, looking in for Marlin, and it's broken up. Great job defensively, because he may have had a chance with the left foot that time. Dylan Meyer again breaking up what was looking like a golden opportunity that time for Marlin.
Quick restart for Memphis.
Armanakis on the line.
The return pass looked like he was offside. Great job by El Paso Locomotive. Jeff, off the first touch of the corner kick, everybody got off the line and put a couple of players, as a matter of fact, into an offside position. That's good disciplined work. sometimes if you're lagging off the line, you can do yourself some harm. That was terrific. Just taking care of the small details here in this critical juncture.
Moving into the 83rd minute. They'll go out to Cabrera. A second half sub for El Paso Locomotive FC. Meshobain seemed not to be able to put on the gas that time. If you could have got a little acceleration, would have had a really nice run. Stauffer sends it back, and look at it all the way back to Jamali Wade. Middle of the 83rd minute. Just enough of a push right in front of the official. Arm extension's always going to get the whistle. So they have a free kick at midfield as they took Ruiz off his feet. Sissoko up to Carriega. Armanakis now. Here, the first mistake we've really seen him make tonight. Just couldn't deaden that one off the foot. Now he's going to draw the foul. Stauffer. Nice pass. Now you can tell here's where the fatigue sets in. These are fatigue fouls. Carriega just couldn't stop his momentum going into Meshobain.
Good opportunity that's set up here for El Paso if they want to try to put this into the mixer. It's a good ways from goal, but if you loft it up, you got a couple of tall trees that can go get it. And it looks like Cavill will take this one for El Paso Locomotive. He's about between 35, 40 yards from goal here.
Cavill looks it over. They'll have a line on the top of the 18. They do have Craig just across the line now. He's offside right now. He's going to have to get back. He will. They'll float it up the header, and there's Tristan Henry. Well, great opportunity. No result that time, but they had exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, that's good execution by El Paso Locomotive. Just couldn't get enough oomph or put it in a corner to challenge Tristan Henry. Armanakis trying to make his way on the sideline, kept in by Cavillo. '85th minute. Take away by 901 FC, and I think that's Duncan that went down, caught the leg. Meza will check in. Or Meza for 901 FC. Sissoko, after a very physical match, caught one in the nose early, caught one off the ankle on a shot. He's kind of banged around there tonight defensively and played a very physical match. 100% has put in a shift tonight. The Memphis faithful, the Bluff City Mafia, appreciative of his effort tonight, but that will do it here. He's put in 85 minutes. He won't go the distance tonight, but this will give Meza a chance to see if he can have an impact here in the dying moments.
Meanwhile, Nick Hines out of Sunrise, Florida, third year of the team, previously to the Tacoma Defiance. Former Akron Zip, came through the Seattle Sounders Academy. 4 appearances on the Jamaican under-20 national team. Will check in here for El Paso. Meanwhile, they'll tend to Duncan, and second half went relatively quickly, but now here's where we're going to get a few minutes of the stoppage time.
Yes, we will. Well, and this will give the players a chance, too, to maybe catch their breath for that last sprint here. I'm guessing we'll have at least 3 or 4 minutes of added time here as we'll put a wrap on this one tonight.
Well,
it's been entertaining.
Yeah. As you take a look at the numbers now, things starting to even out. Memphis is sat in the upper 50s, lower 60s in possession, but it's just 53-47 at this point, and shots getting a little bit closer. Still a 16-10 advantage. Memphis had a pretty stout advantage on the shots midway through the second half.
Yeah, say whatever the outcome is, El Paso certainly didn't come in and roll over tonight. They have been up to the task thus far.
So down low, you got Mesa, newly in. They're going to stay up to Armanakis. Chips it over to the right side. Just a little bit of space, and that one is chipped up on top of the net. Just tried to chip it over Jamali Wade. A little too strong.
Clever ball in, and Akeem Ward almost completed it with an exclamation point. Just over the top, and that's been the story for both clubs tonight. Here's another look at Jeff. First of all, going short on this, plenty of space for Pananakis, or Armanakis rather. And then just over the bar.
Such a tough shot to make. You're so close in. You got to get over his head, but he had the backspin he wanted, but just not enough to pull it down.
Yeah, so close for Memphis, and that'll pull a close for Armando Moreno for tonight. He's done in this match for El Paso Locomotive. But as I said, Panos Armanakis has integrated himself right away. I mean, he's been plug and play tonight for Memphis. Give credit to Stephen Glass for finding someone who could step in and contribute even in limited minutes tonight.
So you're in the 89th minute. You've got just under 2 minutes plus whatever stoppage time they allow. Fernando. Now El Paso a chance. They really couldn't get the momentum initially. Now try a little bit of acceleration to the right side by Cabrera. They look for the give and go, and Cabrera stays on. Cabrera, the one-on-one. Nice job that time by Fernando. Fernando hedged to his right and kept him out up top. A lot of contact, but now here comes Memphis.
Body's falling to the ground, but the ball still stays in play, and now we've got the takedown. And a yellow card. That may have been out of necessity for Robert Coronado.
It's a professional foul. You know you're going to take it. You just got to stop his momentum. I mean, Coronado knew if he didn't get him, got a clear path to Jamali Wade.
Yeah, I think he might have gotten a good return on investment in that yellow card there. He needed to slow Memphis down on the counter. And he tried a couple of times to take him down, and finally on the second try. And now Wilmer Cabrera goes in the book. I'm guessing he probably said something more than "I feel aggrieved by this situation."
Sorry, said a magic word. Here we go. Here's Carriego on the left side. He could have been arguing about it wasn't malicious, and it wasn't. It was a professional foul, but you still wrap your arms around the play.
Yeah, that was a pure takedown. And there's a cross to absolutely nobody.
Job by Wade to throw on the brakes there, not touch it out. 6 minutes stoppage time. So 6 minutes, then you got plenty of time. To be honest with you, Tim, I thought we'd have got 6 at the end of the first half and 3 here, but it works out. So you got plenty of time for both clubs. That's Mesa. A little bit behind for Memphis. Fernando able to help out. Duncan, now they'll swing it to the right side. They've got Marlin and Mesa in there. They'll chip it, and they were looking backside toward Mesa. That time just trying to throw something toward the net, and well off target for Lapa.
Yeah, when you're that close, you have a little bit of space. Sometimes you're just inclined to go for it, and he did. We've seen those hit the target though from Bruno Lapa from time to time though. And now El Paso not in a particular hurry here to get this restart.
Right now, if you're you're the last place team in the West, this clock's really going slow. You just want to end this thing. Came on the road, got a point, trying to get back home. Coming off a close 2-1 loss in their derby match with New Mexico last week, the Derby del Camino Real. And again, for them would be, any result here would be a victory. They haven't gotten a point since the middle of June.
Hey, would you mind saying that again? That sounds pretty cool.
The Derby del Camino Real.
See, I like that. That sounds better than El Tráfico. And no offense to the Los Angeles teams, but that sounds better.
Well, he's 4 minutes remaining in this stoppage time. Long time to go here.
Yes, sir. We've got to restart here off of an offside.
So they will have Javali Waite take the free kick. A couple times in the first half now, remember, Waite off a save was able to get that. I mean, he's got a howitzer for a leg. They've gone over the top with him a couple times tonight in the first half.
And it seems like it's been yesterday when we were talking about the first half, because Knight Pickering had a couple of very good opportunities in Waite, and let's not forget Dollenmeyer on the with his thigh saving the goal off the header. Yeah, I mean, it's been a terrific match.
Memphis trying to go, and that's Meza. Loose ball, and Waite finally able to pounce on it and smother it. No El Paso contending for something there, but the ball did get loose before Waite was able to jump on top of it.
Yeah, Memphis 901 FC with every right to pursue that loose ball. Now Waite under some stress, and now an forced error, rather. Credit to 901.
Memphis will be able to throw it in 15 yards parallel with the goal line. They're having trouble really getting control of it. Now have a late Memphis foul. Far as that situation tonight, 14 fouls on Memphis, 12 on El Paso, 3 yellow cards for each team. Still stands an 18-10 shot advantage for Memphis 901 FC.
Waite will send this one down Route 1.
Back on the header, Duncan tried to deliver. Time that one will go over Maze's head. All right, El Paso on the right side with Cabrera. They've worked together well on the near side, and a takedown, and now Michobain. Michobain and Cabrera have worked pretty well together on the right side in the second half.
And that was a terrific move there, Jeff. That's going to draw a yellow card for Luis Fernando as he has to make a tackle. Otherwise, Michobain is going to get a look at goal here in the 95th minute.
So the 4th yellow tonight for 901 FC. C. Henry's on the near post trying to direct traffic and get a good view of this.
Yeah, from his view, he wants Fernando to cover up the look of the ball there. He wants to make sure that he's lined up with the near post. That way, maybe he cuts down the width of the goal from 8 yards to maybe 6 yards.
Well, he's
in the width.
Fernando and Lapa in front of him. 2-man wall. So you can see there, he's got a pretty clear look at it. Where they're going to bunch up in the middle and on the back side where they'll crack. They nearly got a header off of this earlier in the match, nearly the same spot. That's where they go again, and this time it's headed away by 901 FC.
Looks like
Turchi got it, yeah.
It looks like Lucas got it.
Not enough of an angle to get the corner. Looks like they'll throw it in a couple yards high the goal line.
Now with the yellow card, the question becomes how much more time will be allowed beyond. We're coming up on 6 minutes. How much more time will Thomas Snyder give?
Well, will they give El Paso a possession? Will they return the favor and give Memphis one more run at it? We'll see. They'll have to get things separated down toward Tristan Henry. Well, they got some side. They've got Craig down there. Dollenmeyer's going to go ahead and move up top. Right now, you don't care who's in what position. You want the biggest guys you can get in that box.
Keep an eye on the box. We may see bodies flying here, Jeff.
It's Turchi. Even though Dollenmeyer's got the height advantage, Turchi's going to have the leverage, being a smaller guy, to get up under and push out. So here's the throw. That time, that will go off the leg of Akeem Ward. And so they're going to get the corner out of this. Question for me, Tim, is if they get this corner and Memphis is able to clear it and get possession, is there enough time, or will they allow time for Memphis to make one push as long as they can keep some sort of possession?
Yeah, here we are, the 98th minute already. That if, and that's a big if here, if Memphis can clear and counter, I don't know. There's only one man that knows, and that's Thomas Snyder.
Into the back, header, Henry, loose ball. But Henry able to go to his left and pick up the loose. Here comes the long throw, and there's the kick out of bounds. And that will be it. If Memphis, I think, was able to continue on that run, they probably let the run of play continue. But once the clearance, I think that's probably in the 98th minute the right call.
Yeah, and on the balance, a nervy moment in the dying seconds for Memphis. I don't want to see a loose ball. When it's all said and done, everybody goes home with a point. I would guess El Paso is going to be a bit happier out of this.
Absolutely. A lot of action tonight. 28 shots, no goal for either team. We'll take a timeout. We will wrap this up when we come back to AutoZone Park. No score tonight, El Paso and Memphis 901 FC. Hard-fought match tonight, but scoreless. Each team will earn a point for El Paso. That will give them 13 points. They're still 13 shy of the playoff line, so a lot of work to do. Meanwhile, Memphis tied momentarily with Oakland with 32 points. It was, even though a scoreless draw, Tim, it was not without a lot of activity tonight.
Yeah, 28 shots tonight, 10 saves combined for the goalkeepers. So both keepers tonight doing their part. Tristan Henry and also Waite for El Paso doing a terrific job. Had a share of yellow cards. We had some moments of some hip tosses and some hip checks tonight, and it was a physical match. It was entertaining enough, but just not a lot of quality in the finishing in the attacking third for either club tonight, and so everybody goes home splitting points.
Kind of what we thought it would be. Memphis a couple times able to have some pretty solid possession, make a few runs. For El Paso, I think they slowed down the match, obviously enough to grab a point, but they had some very good counter opportunities.
They did, and with 4 shots on target, you come out of this on a road match where they've actually been pretty good, and they showed why. They played good away from home, and they were as advertised on that, but they certainly played above being in last place in the Western Conference tonight. And Memphis, I don't want to see, had some moments. They had plenty of quality out there, but tonight just not the finishing touch that they would hope for. And I'm sure Stephen Glass will be frustrated by that. The players will be frustrated by that as well.
That will wrap things up tonight from AutoZone Park. No score tonight between El Paso and Memphis 901 FC. Meanwhile, El Paso back home to host Miami next week. 901 FC on the road at Charleston. It's been a pleasure, and thanks so much for joining us this evening at AutoZone Park in Memphis, Tennessee. No score tonight. For Tim Van Horn, I'm Jeff Brightwell. Thanks for joining us.
or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.